Hey, our upgrade pace is looking solid right now, but I do think we need to push harder if we want to stay competitive. Here's the report.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for round number 2 for the Chinese Grand Prix in season 5. But first things first, guys, I got the poll results from the last episode where I asked you guys if you prefer the one-shot qualifying or the full 3-part qualifying format. And I gave it a couple of days, and the results are in, and basically by a pretty vast majority, you guys want me to go back to the full part, 3-part qualifying. So I will put a disclaimer out there, very important. I have already recorded China, as you can see on the screen right now, and I've also already recorded Bahrain. So the changes will take effect from Sochi onwards. So from the 4th race in Russia, that's when you'll see the return of 3-part qualifying. But for this race and Bahrain, it will still be one-shot qualifying, as I have already recorded them. The reason is I had to get ahead because I was a little bit behind, and I've got a couple of exams next week, so I've had to catch up, and I've had to get this out of the way so I can focus entirely on schoolwork. But as you can see, meanwhile, jumping into Friday practice, and we got a flawless score throughout the entire session and getting purple and absolutely everything, putting away a good amount of resource points, which I won't put into any upgrades at the end of this episode, so we'll keep on putting them points away. Maybe for the next one though, in Bahrain, we might get a couple of upgrades on the car. But straight away now, jumping into Saturday qualifying for our one and only lap, and it's full heavy rain conditions, so that's going to open up our strategy for tomorrow to start on a different fresh set of dry tyres. But in terms of the lap itself, very tricky conditions here for this Williams car. Really had to try and find the edge of the grip, edge of the limit, the limit of the car, and we actually did a pretty good job of it, I've got to say. Straight away here, off to a good start on the lap, and briefly first place there into the apex, but just ran a little bit too far into turn 5. But good traction out the exit of turn 5, and now into turn 6, into the sort of fastest corners on the track, really trying to carry the speed into these, and then flicking it right into the right hander of turn number 7 here, and still trying to really push the limits here and trusting the front end of my car, which is something that you really want to hope you have around this circuit. And if we get a good exit out of the double apex left hander, and now across the second sectors, but we brake very hard for this 90, even 100 degree left hander, very sharp apex, and that's going to feed us into the very tricky and a very patiently long right hand banking. We've got very long around this, very lot of patience, and you've got to really trust the back end of your car. We use all of the track available to us, and that's going to send you straight onto the back straight, and now basically it's a waiting game to see where the break point is. Normally in the dry it's 100 meter board, but in the wet it's about 150, a little bit earlier, and you want to go all the way down to 3rd gear, pick up the apex, and it's critical now that you get good traction on the exit of the corner. Short shift if you need to, which is exactly what I do, and then through the final corner, down a couple of gears, and make sure you're on the bollard. Also, don't extend, otherwise you will get a warning and your lap invalidated. And now we're going to run it to the line. Vettel goes P1 and fastest. The question is, where are we? It's going to be 6th place, so not too bad around a track that I don't particularly enjoy, and a car that is renowned for having great downfalls. So overall, very encouraging qualifying, and pretty damn good actually. We beat Massa by quite a margin. So overall, Vettel takes first place ahead of his teammate Kimi Raikkonen in a Mercedes second row, and we get alongside the 3rd row with Sergio Perez. So overall, a pretty encouraging qualifying. That's going to set us up nicely for the race tomorrow with a free set of tyres just like everybody else. So the strategy is going to be very open. But without further ado, let's jump straight into Sunday now for round number 2 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right, here we are on the grid then for the Chinese Grand Prix, and we're P6 after a pretty decent qualifying session, and overall a very encouraging one. The question is, can we hold it in this position for the race here today? And I feel pretty good at China, especially because just a couple of hours ago I did record car up here with Arrow, so I've got a good feel for the track. Fortunately the race was in dry conditions, to be fair, but hopefully nonetheless it can be a good race, and fingers crossed it can work out pretty nicely for us. But overall intermediates are expected for this race, and I think it sort of disguises the fact that we sort of not really on the pace around this track. I struggled a bit in the dry conditions quite a bit, and the rear end was definitely very snappy. It still is in the wet conditions, but everyone's got that same problem. And speaking of obviously wet conditions and intermediates, in terms of the race strategy for today, you can see that we've basically got inters all the way through, rain all the way through with no variation in the conditions. So I've underfueled a little bit, as I'm not going to need a lot of extra fuel, and yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. The question is, can we do any more damage than what we did in qualifying, and can we possibly crack into that top 5? So I'm looking forward to the race. Hopefully you guys are too, and without further ado, let's jump straight into the race for round number 2 of season 5. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights for the Chinese Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go here for round 2 of the season. And off the line, it's a great start actually, getting the jump on Perez, who's still on the outside there, but a very good start. Perez though in the second phase, getting a much better launch than me, as we're going to go up the inside of turn 1 here in the very sort of tighter line we take normally to try and beat the AI. Perez still on my left hand side, so I've got to leave him some room here. Meanwhile, Ferraris lead the way with Mercedes in 3 and 4, and Perez has just gone back up my inside here, so I'm going to try and re-overtake the Mexican. He's going to have the inside line just next corner. A little bit of contact as Perez gets out of shape, and luckily my front wing is still in one piece, but Perez is going to make the move and hold on, but I'm going to switch back underneath him, getting some brilliant traction, and there we go, we're up into P5, so good start, and this is exactly what I wanted to beat. Now the question is, can we go one better and try and crack into that top 4 on raw pace and merit? Do we have the speed in this Williams car to try and do that? We'll have to wait and see, but let's see if these conditions favour us or whether they're against us, but hopefully it's the former and not the latter, and we can try and have a good race here today. I'm pretty close to Bottas here. I don't know if I'll be able to make a move. I'm definitely the fastest guy in the first sector. That sector, no one can touch me. Like, I've got the best pace because I'm just the fastest, but it's in this middle one where I do struggle a little bit, and then the final sort of evens out. But in the middle sector, that's sort of the AI make up for the time they lose in the first one. But definitely, so far, I feel pretty good. The car feels good, and we might have to pace on the Mercedes cars here. We'll have to wait and see, but so far, it's looking pretty damn positive. So let's keep going. Right, Sergio Perez has had a great run out the bank in here. He might actually have a run at me. He's going to go to the inside, and I'm going to let him have the inside line under braking. But right now the pace is very similar. Even the Ferraris are not exactly flying away at the front. And basically both Ferraris are battling with each other, same as both Mercedes, and I'm sort of battling with Sergio Perez here. So we are in this race, so it's just a question of holding the pace and maybe trying to make something happen in the pit stops, because obviously we are expecting a 2-stop race, so maybe we can make something happen there. But definitely an intriguing race thus far, and we've definitely, like I said, got some okay pace, so we could make something happen here today. Right, so apparently the rain might dry in about 10 minutes. I just got a radio message, so that could be a possibility now into the next few laps. Perez is still all over the back and we're looking for a move, but he just can't get through, and both Mercedes and Ferrari still battling away here, so it's all very open so far. No one's really got some incredible pace, so I'm really excited. This could be a very interesting race. Okay, so far the pace is getting better. I'm only like a tenth off the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and now the Ferraris are going sideways into turn 1 here, so this is really opening up at the moment. Okay, so Raikkonen car issues. That's going to be very interesting because the Ferraris are dropping back, so that's going to drop him back into us, and all 4 of us, both of the Mercs, myself and Perez, all running in pretty close tandem here. So this race is really opening up now, and I'm really close to Bottas here. So Vettel's leading the way, but this is anyone's race. I mean, look at the pace we've got. We're actually doing a great job. I mean, even Perez as well in the Force India. I think the works cars are just struggling more than the sort of low manufacturers. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Okay, Raikkonen is definitely under attack now, and he's been passed by Lewis Hamilton. So this race now really getting interesting, and we're looking very, very racy. So we've got to try and be ready for an opportunity. Vettel realises this race is opening up, and he's setting the pace. So this race is getting very interesting. We're all over the back now of Bottas and a struggling Kimi Raikkonen here. We're going to take a switchback line into turn 1 and try and go for the move here. Have we got enough to go on the inside of Raikkonen here? He's going to let me through. Raikkonen obviously struggling with issues. Yellow flag further behind, so something's happened, but either way, we're into 3rd place now. Double overtake into turn 1, past both of the Finns, and the rain is definitely starting to ease up here. So this could be very, very interesting. We're scheduled to stop next lap, and all the AI will come in for another set of inters. But if the track is going to dry out, is it worth me staying out? This is very exciting. I could actually win my first race of the season already in this new team. Okay, so Lewis comes into the pit lane. I'm going to stay out for a bit longer. Apparently the rain's going to dry out in 5 minutes. So this is risky, but I'm going to stay out. Okay, so me and Seb are staying out for one more lap, and I'm actually catching Sebastian. I'm lapping faster than him, which is pretty impressive. I matched my personal best last lap, and that lap is pretty much half a second off the fastest, which is a 49 dead. So our pace is pretty good at the moment, and worst ways, even if I stay out for a bit longer, if I can just get to like lap 13, I can always just switch to a 1-stop instead of a 2 anyway, and just go into to the end. But I want to see if this rain does dry out. So so far it's looking pretty good. Can we do any more damage? Okay, Sebastian responds a 48.6. That's a mega lap from the German. I can't match that. That's pretty damn quick. Right, personal best responding. Also a sign that the track is drying out. I believe it's not raining anymore and the rain has officially stopped. So we're now running on a drying track. So switch to dryers could be imminent. Okay, so the track has dried out. It's time to switch over to slicks, and Sebastian Vettel is the first man into the pit lane. I'm going to follow him. I'm going to come in from mediums and go to the end. It's risky strategy. I know the mediums sort of backfired on me in Brazil, but I just want to go for it because I've got track position, and at best everyone else is going to have to do 2 stops. And Vettel was coming. I think he's putting us at intermediates. Yeah, Seb's gone for intermediates, and I think Perez behind is also going for intermediates here. So they might have messed up on their strategy. We're going to go mediums, so we might have played the ultimate card here, and we might have the ultimate strategy. If the track stays dry and no more rain comes, I think we've nailed this, so let's wait and see. But I think we might have made the right call here. We're now on mediums. The track is definitely greasy, but let's see if we can survive on these. There's definitely a slipperiness on this track that I couldn't see a minute ago. Bottas has passed me. The track is like almost dry. I mean, there's a bit of spray coming up, but even the team recommended me to come in that lap for dry tyres because the track was ready, and I was inclined to agree. So we're in trouble at the minute here. We're going backwards, so we're going to be struggling, I think, for at least another lap or so. Meanwhile, Perez is going to make the move, so there you go. Just we've got to survive this little period here, and we'll be onto dry, hopefully a dry track. Alright, Daniel Ricciardo now making the move, and I'm in Lee mix, by the way, because I'm just trying to save some fuel. So I'm not going to go any faster in standard, so I might as well just stick it in lean and try and basically save some fuel whilst these track conditions come to me. But right now we are really struggling. Van Dorn up into 9th place now in the McLaren, so we are dropping like a stone. I mean, I hope I don't regret this. Van Dorn comes in, presumably for intermediates, I'm hoping, but track is still not ready for dryers, which is quite alarming. So let's wait and see. We've got more cars in the pit lane there, including Kimi Räikkönen. So there's Ocon, so they're still going for another set of inters. I'm on the dryers, but this track surely has to dry up soon. I mean, there's just no grip at the minute, which is very, very weird, but the inters surely can't be much better for much longer. Right, here goes Kimi Räikkönen, and then he's going to make the move. Verstappen's already passed me, and that's another position I've lost. Just dropping through the field, and now my teammate's going to make a move here. So this track is taking forever now to dry out. This last bit onto the dryers, I don't know what's happening, but the track doesn't want to dry up, and I'm very concerned because Vettel, who I was right behind, I was 9 seconds behind him, but even still, he's already crossed the line, so this is very frustrating. Oh, I've just been passed, well, I'm about to be passed by both Renaults. I've just got no pace. This track is not drying out. It's really frustrating. There's been no rain since lap 12, but the track just doesn't want to dry out. It's really, really infuriating, but I've just got nothing. The track is just greasy and gripless. It's horrible. Van Dorn's behind me already. He's already caught me up. He's already getting a pit stop on me. That's how bad this is. And the track just doesn't feel any better than when I rejoined 4 laps ago. I don't know what's going on, but this is like glitched out or something. Well, this is getting really serious now. The track is just not improving. It's been bone dry or stopped raining for 7 laps. And look at this. We're getting overtaken by Saubers, Haas, McLaren. We just got triple overtaken there, which is just so embarrassing, and I can't do nothing about it. I'm gonna be last, all because this game has a weird glitch with this track conditions. I don't even know what it is. Ericsson's right there, so I'm gonna get lapped, or not lapped, but I'm gonna be last. But I will get lapped at this rate because there's just no improvement in the track. The track was exactly the same as 7 laps ago. I've got no grip, nothing at all. I just knew something wasn't right the second I heard the track was going to dry out halfway through the race, when at the start I was advised to be in inters the whole race, and it said rain on the session forecast the entire way through. Something didn't add up to me, and that's answered my question. I had a really bad feeling about it, and look where we are. And I could go back on inters, but what's the point? I'm not going to gain anything. It's just, I hate this situation we're in. I really, really hate it. Like, there's just nothing to do for the rest of this race now. I'm just going to go backwards. Right, well, this is embarrassing. We are rock bottom last, and blue flag for Sebastian Vettel. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is really bad. I don't even know. I don't have the words to explain how pissed off I am right now. I mean, look, I'm just going to go straight on here. I've got nothing. I've got absolutely nothing. Well, I think I'm just going to retire from the race, to be honest, because I might as well retire, have the chance to take a gearbox in the next race, and also save the engine, because I've been lapped, so even if there's a safety car, I can't lap myself. I'm not going to go anywhere, so I think it's time to call it quits.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium. And as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
Right, so looking at the final race results, and Sebastian Vettel wins a second race in a row, and maybe this could be the season where Vettel finally turns up after 5 seasons in this career mode. But Sebastian Vettel leads home a race win ahead of Lewis Hamilton, and Sergio Perez gets the place of forcing a good podium for him. Daniel Ricciardo in P4, also a good result for the Red Bull driver. Both with the Finns, Kimi and Valtteri, dropped down to P5 and P6, and Ocon gets 7th place ahead of my teammate Felipe Massa, with Stoffel Van Dorn and Palmer scoring good points for the respective teams. If we scroll further down, though, you can see quite far down the order Kvyat, Verstappen and myself out of the race, and disappointing race, really frustrating one. And I've got no explanation as to why or what happened. That race was just poor, really poor. Driver standings after that race, you can see that we dropped down quite considerably, down to 7th place, and we're almost close to our teammate Felipe Massa. Vettel leads the way on a big fat 50 points, and then in the constructors, we dropped down a couple of places, down to 5th place. So overall, not a good race, and bad strategy on my behalf, but also I still feel like some sort of glitch. I really don't know what that is, but nonetheless, if you guys have enjoyed the video, then please do leave a like on the episode, and also subscribe if you're new to the channel around here. And also please be sure to check out these videos on screen right now if you have missed them, and also do check out GT Omega in the links down below in the description. Use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Let's have my next video. Goodbye.